What if I told you that the woman who acts like she doesn't care is actually falling apart inside? That her silence isn't strength, it's a shield. The very thing she pretends to ignore is the weight pressing on her heart. The way she brushes it off, the way she laughs like nothing happened. It's not real, it's survival. The pain she hides isn't a weakness, it's proof of what matters to her. And if you think she walked away unscathed, you don't understand how deeply this cuts. But here's the truth. This pain isn't just hers, it's a reflection of something you need to see. Because the way she reacts says more about you than her. You can choose to ignore it, pretend it doesn't matter, or you can see it for what it is, a turning point. One that can either leave you stuck in regret, or make you stronger than ever. Number 1. The truth about women and regret. There's something you need to understand about women and regret. They rarely admit their mistakes in love, even when they feel the weight of them. Not because they don't experience regret, but because their ego, their carefully crafted self-esteem, won't allow them to. Society reinforces this, friends validate it, and new romantic options create an illusion of having leveled up. When a woman walks away, she's often met with encouragement, not reflection. At first, she might feel liberated. She might post on social media, smiling in pictures, sending signals that she's unbothered. Maybe she starts dating someone new, believing she is upgraded. This is what the world sees, but what the world doesn't see is what happens in the quiet moments when no one is watching, when the distractions fade. Regret doesn't strike immediately, it creeps in slowly, silently, in the spaces where confidence used to be. It comes late at night when she's alone. It comes when she sees something that reminds her of you, a place, a scent, a song. It comes when she meets someone new and realizes that the chemistry, the depth, the stability she had with you isn't so easily replaced. And most painfully, it comes when she sees you, not desperate, not broken, but thriving without her. This is where most men go wrong. They think that if they just explain, just convince, just prove that they were the right choice, she'll see the light and come back. But the truth is, the more you chase, the more you beg, the more you plead, the stronger her belief becomes that leaving you is the right decision. Your desperation feeds her confidence. It reassures her that she had the power all along. The real shift happens when you disappear, not as a strategy, not as a manipulation, but because you understand your worth. When you stop giving her attention, when you stop feeding her ego with your suffering, something changes. You plant a seed of doubt. She starts to wonder, why isn't he chasing? Was I wrong? The absence of your reaction is more powerful than any words you could ever say. Men who understand this don't beg. They don't seek closure. They don't waste time trying to fix the unfixable. They step away, they grow, they evolve. And in doing so, they force the woman to confront something uncomfortable, her own choices. Because deep down, she knows. She won't admit it, but she feels it. And by the time she realizes, it's often too late. Comment below. I disappear. I rebuild. I rise. Number 2. Why begging is a man's greatest weakness. A man on his knees, pleading for a woman to stay, is the moment he loses everything, his dignity, his power, his self-respect. And once those things are gone, so is her respect for him. Understand this. When a woman leaves, she has emotionally checked out long before she physically walks away. She has already detached, already rationalized her decision. By the time you're begging, you're confirming everything she told herself, that leaving you is the right choice. Society teaches men that fighting for love means proving their devotion, showing vulnerability, wearing their heart on their sleeve. But in reality, begging doesn't make her see your worth, it makes her see your desperation. It cements in her mind that she was the prize, and you were just lucky to have her. A woman doesn't regret leaving a man who begs. She feels validated by it. It's proof to her that she had the upper hand all along. But what happens when you don't react? What happens when, instead of chasing, you go silent? Instead of fighting for her attention, you disappear into the shadows. This is where the game shifts. Most women expect a man to crumble. They expect texts, long paragraphs, maybe even grand gestures in a desperate attempt to pull them back. But when none of that comes, when there's only silence, it unsettles them. It forces them to wonder, did I make a mistake? You see, humans crave validation. When a woman leaves, she expects to be reassured that she was valuable, that her presence mattered. But when you don't give her that satisfaction, she's left with doubt. And doubt is more powerful than love, more haunting than regret. A man who begs is a man who confirms his weakness. A man who walks away is a man who leaves a question mark in her mind. So next time you feel the urge to reach out, to plead, to fight for something that's already been lost, ask yourself this: do I want to be a memory she pities or a mystery she regrets losing? Comment below. I don't chase. I don't beg. I vanish. Number 3. The first step of a Stoic man: mastering emotions. Pain. That's the first thing you feel when she leaves. A sharp, hollow ache in your chest. An emptiness where she used to be. The world seems quieter, but not in a peaceful way, more like a void swallowing your thoughts, filling your mind with questions that have no answers. And this is exactly what she expects. Women know that men struggle with emotions. They expect anger, desperation, maybe even a breakdown. They've seen it before: men texting relentlessly, showing up unexpectedly, trying to bargain their way back into a woman's life. They know how the story plays out, and they assume you will react the same way. But what happens when you don't? What happens when, instead of losing yourself in grief, you become still? When, instead of reacting, you regain control? This is where the power of Stoicism begins. A Stoic man doesn't run from pain, he faces it head-on. He doesn't drown in self-pity or seek validation from a woman who has already left. He understands that suffering is temporary, but dignity is permanent. Emotional mastery is not suppression. It's not pretending you don't care or forcing yourself to act numb. It's the ability to feel everything: the sadness, the anger, the confusion, without letting it control you. Because the moment you control your emotions, you control the situation. When she sees you unshaken, it disrupts her expectations. It plants a seed of doubt in her mind. Why isn't he broken? Why isn't he chasing? That silence, that composure, is more powerful than any words you could ever say. Weak men beg. Weak men react. But strong men? They become untouchable. So when the storm of emotions hits, let it rage, but stand firm. Because in the end, the man who masters himself is the man who can never be truly abandoned. Comment below. I control my emotions. No one else does. Number 4. The dark psychology of indifference. Nothing wounds the ego of a woman more than a man who simply does not care. Not anger. Not sadness. Not even hatred. Because all of those emotions still acknowledge her existence. They still give her power. But indifference? Indifference strips her of the one thing she craves the most: validation. Women expect men to react, to chase, to show pain. When she walks away, she assumes she will remain a presence in your mind, an imprint in your heart. She believes that even in her absence, she still holds power over you. But what happens when she doesn't? What happens when you stop watching her stories, stop reacting to her posts, stop acknowledging her completely? What happens when, instead of longing for her return, you vanish into your own life, your own purpose? This is where doubt creeps in. A woman's greatest fear is not a man who hates her, it's a man who forgets her. Because when a man forgets, it means she was never as important as she thought. It means she was just another chapter, not the whole story. Indifference is the most unsettling response because it forces her to ask, did I even matter? And that question is what breaks her. Understand this. Anger still ties you to her. Heartache still ties you to her. But indifference? Indifference is freedom. Indifference is power. Indifference is the one thing she cannot fight against. So let go, not with resentment, not with bitterness, but with absolute detachment. Because the moment you stop caring is the moment she starts to wonder why. Comment below. I own nothing. I feel nothing. I move forward. Number 5. The power of silent rebuilding. There is no greater revenge than success, especially when it's done in silence. Most men, after a breakup, make one of two mistakes. Some spiral downward, drowning in self-destruction, drinking too much, wasting time, numbing themselves with distractions. Others go in the opposite direction, trying too hard to prove they've moved on, posting exaggerated gym selfies, forcing fake smiles, making sure she sees their progress. Both are weak. Both scream desperation. A stoic man, however, does something entirely different. He rebuilds, not for her, not for validation, but for himself. And he does it in silence. No public announcements, no performative displays, no need to show off, just quiet, disciplined progress. Because nothing haunts a woman more than realizing she lost a man who leveled up without her. At first, she won't notice. She'll assume you're just another guy stuck in the past, secretly wishing she'd come back. But then, over time, the whispers begin, the changes in your physique, the new energy in your life, the quiet confidence in your presence. And one day, she stumbles upon a photo. Not one meant to impress her, just a candid moment where you radiate self-assurance. And that's when it hits her. She thought you would break. Instead, you became untouchable. And worse, you did it without her. That's the moment regret seeps in. That's the moment she wonders if she made a mistake. But by then, it's too late. Because the new you, the man you've become, has no need for the past. He has already won. Comment below. I build. I grow. I never look back. Number 6. Why women come back. Women don't return because they miss you. They return because they lost control over you. Understand this. When a woman leaves, she expects to still have a grip on your mind. Even if she walks away, she assumes you'll wait. She believes she can come back at any time, and you'll still be there, longing, hoping, desperate for another chance. But when you break that expectation, when you disappear into your own growth, unbothered and unreachable, that's when she starts to panic. At first, she enjoys the freedom, the attention, the excitement of new possibilities. She convinces herself she is leveled up. But time is a cruel teacher. She starts to compare. The men she meets lack your depth, your presence, your strength. They don't challenge her. They don't carry that unshakable confidence she once overlooked in you. And suddenly, nostalgia sets in. She wonders if she made the right choice. She replays old memories, rewriting them in her mind. She convinces herself that maybe she left something good behind. So she reaches out, not because she loves you, not because she regrets it in the way you might think, but because she wants to see if she still has control. Does he still want me? Will he respond instantly? Can I still pull him back if I try? This is not love. This is ego. And here's where most men fail. They mistake this moment for redemption, for a second chance at love. They let her back in without hesitation, proving to her that she never truly lost them in the first place. But a man who has evolved sees it differently. He doesn't rush to reply. He doesn't fall into old patterns. He recognizes the difference between love and control. And because of that, he remains unmoved. And when she realizes she truly lost him, that's when regret becomes real. Comment below. I am free. I cannot be controlled. Number 7. The test. When she reaches out, her message arrives out of nowhere. A simple, hey. A nostalgic, I was just thinking about you. Or a casual, how have you been? At first glance, it seems harmless, innocent, maybe even sincere. But don't be fooled. This is not a confession of regret. This is not a sign that she wants you back for the right reasons. This is a test. She's not looking to rekindle love. She's checking her power over you. If you respond instantly, if you sound too eager, if you engage like nothing ever happened, she has her answer. You were waiting. You were hoping. And in that moment, she knows she still owns a piece of you. But a man who has truly moved on sees through the game. He doesn't rush to reply. He doesn't fall for the bait. He controls the frame. So what should you do? First, don't respond immediately. Time is leverage. Let her wonder. Let her feel uncertainty. Second, keep it short. No warmth. No nostalgia. No opening for deeper conversation. A simple, Indifferent reply like doing well, hope you're good too. Nothing more. Third, maintain emotional detachment. If she pushes for more, stay neutral. Don't give her what she's fishing for, validation that she still matters to you. Because when she realizes she can't pull you back in, when she sees you truly don't care anymore, that's when the real regret sets in. And that's when you win. Comment below. I control the fray. I own my mind. Number 8. Rising above, becoming untouchable. The ultimate power isn't in making her regret. It's in reaching a place where her regret no longer matters. Most men stay trapped in the cycle, waiting for her to notice, to feel guilty, to return. But a man who masters himself transcends all of that. He stops asking, "Does she miss me?" He starts asking, "Am I becoming the greatest version of myself?" Because the truth is, when you evolve beyond her, when your life becomes something so powerful, so fulfilling, so untouchable, her feelings, her regret, her nostalgia, her what if become irrelevant. This is the essence of Stoic masculinity. A man ruled by emotions is a slave to them. A man ruled by purpose is free. When you shift your focus inward, towards discipline, growth, and personal mastery, you detach from needing external validation. Your life becomes your own. And in that process, something profound happens. She feels it. Even if she never says it, she knows she lost something valuable. She sees the man you've become, the strength in your silence, the power in your presence, the absence of neediness, and nothing crushes the ego more than realizing you never needed her at all. This isn't about playing games. This isn't about manipulation. This is about freedom. Because the real victory is not in making her regret leaving. It's in reaching the point where you no longer care whether she does or not. Comment below. I am untouchable. I am free. Number 9. The final lesson. She will never admit it, but she will feel it. She will never say the words out loud. She will never text you, "I made a mistake." She will never confess, "I regret losing you." Her pride won't allow it. But deep down, beneath the surface of her carefully curated life, beneath the social media smiles and the stories she tells her friends, she feels it. Regret doesn't arrive with a grand declaration. It seeps in through the quiet moments, when she's alone at night and the silence is louder than she remembers, when she scrolls through your profile and sees you thriving without her, when she's with someone new but something feels off because he isn't you. She won't admit it, but she will feel it. And here's where most men fail. They wait for that admission. They hope for that validation. But the man who has truly won, the man who has truly mastered himself, doesn't need to hear it. Because by the time her regret sets in, by the time she starts to wonder if she made the wrong choice, you're already too far ahead to care. You've built a life so fulfilling, so powerful, so beyond her reach that her regret is meaningless. This is the ultimate truth. The greatest revenge is not proving her wrong. The greatest victory is not hearing her admit she lost you. The greatest power is never needing her validation in the first place. So don't wait for an apology that will never come. Don't seek closure in words that will never be spoken. Your closure is who you've become. Comment below. I don't need validation. I am my own closure. You started this thinking she felt nothing. Now you see, what looks like indifference is often just a mask for the deepest wounds. But this isn't about her. It's about you. About understanding that your power was never in her hands. She didn't break you. She revealed what needed to change. So take that realization and use it. Stand taller. Move smarter. And never let someone else's silence dictate your worth. If this hit home, let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe, and type "I see clearly now." Stay strong. Keep building. Your future is